Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so the score was 125-121. The Lakers fall in Boston to the Boston Celtics in an overtime game. Again, another overtime game. Oh man, it's so much to say, and I don't really know where to start. But what I can certainly say is that we did not have a fair shot tonight. The calls did not go our way at all. I think this is one of those games where you look at the box score and you say the Boston Celtics shot about as poorly as the Lakers did from a three. The Lakers had like 10 more field goals than Boston Celtics. We rebound pretty much solid with them. We didn't really turn the ball over that much at all. The only thing that really killed us was the free throw line. We shot like under 20 free throws. They shot over 37 free throws and hit quite a few of them. I think this is one of those games where the Lakers need to seriously write something in to the officials, to the league rather, and discuss their grievances with this game. It was blatant. On one end, you see the Boston Celtics get hit with phantom calls that you see people get brushed by. Somebody will barely touch somebody. Someone will attempt not to foul somebody, and they'll call it. And then on the other end, you'll see situations where LeBron James getting hit in the arm, no call down the stretch of regulation. Guys getting hit on the head, over the back calls not going. I mean, it was just an obvious exaggeration in regards to the difference. We get clobbered, no call. They get brush fouls, get to the line. I mean, it was repeated all night long. It got so bad that Patrick Beverley had to walk up to the referees with one of the paparazzi cameras to show them what it was that he missed on the final play of regulation. It was that ultimately was the biggest antagonist against the Lakers, honestly. That was the biggest antagonist. But unfortunately, it was not the only antagonist. The Lakers had like 3 and 4 different things coming at them tonight. Another thing that came at them tonight was the Boston Celtics. You got to give Malcolm Brogdon, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown a lot of credit for flexing, big scoring. Al Horford for playing well. Luke Cornett was the guy I couldn't seem to remember in the halftime video. And the pregame video, I just could not remember this gentleman's name, but he's a center there who always does good things for them. He contributes to things that I think are intangibles that help winning. And I just felt like they played their Luke Cornett and we didn't play our Wenyen Gabriel. That's kind of how that is in my mind. Certain players on your team are not going to get the cachet for whatever reason. Probably because they're not signed with a certain clutch or some type of organization that will make it so that they have that leverage. So if they're role players or what have you, maybe their teams just aren't going to feature them or respect them pretty much. And that's what I think is happening to Wenyen Gabriel. And I think we're losing because of it. I think we saw a situation where we didn't give him no minutes, and we saw another situation here where we simply needed what it is that he did. 50-50 balls, rebounds, and things of that nature. It was just a lot of the Lakers making life harder for themselves by just simply playing the wrong players. And so when you got a good defensive team, a good offensive team, a good everything team like the Boston Celtics, who basically have the best record in all of basketball, and they've coming off a 3-game losing streak where they've had some games where they just simply had to adjust to the changes in their roster. When they finally run into you, and you dumb it down by giving them a size advantage just about every possession on the floor, and in the overtime you run yourself 3 guards, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James, as we've mentioned many times, they are not bigs, but he not only put them down there as bigs, but put them down there with guards as bigs, in overtime no less. I mean, some of the decisions of Darvin Ham were so incredibly egregious tonight that it wasn't just the referees that was killing us and the Boston Celtics that was killing us, but also him, who was coming at us with a 3rd jersey on, playing an entirely different game against us. I kid you not. The Lakers could have made life a lot easier for themselves if they simply would have did the opposite of what Darvin did tonight. It was a lot of Patrick Beverley. It was a lot of Russell Westbrook being subbed in at the wrong times. How in the hell do you have a guy that you bench the entire fourth quarter. You didn't trust him to play in the entire fourth quarter, but something in your brain tells you to put him in a small ball lineup in overtime? And you want me to think that you're not on the side of the other team trying to feature Jason Tatum? This is what I'm talking about. I felt the same way about the Dallas matchups. Like, am I the only person thinking that Darvin Ham's trying to feature Luka Doncic? Because every time we find ourselves in situations where it really matters the most, it's like he's catering the defense for them to destroy us. It's like he's setting the table for them to eat. You're going to put Patrick Beverley down there and feature your whole offense through him tonight. Didn't pay Max Christie at all. You left us with 3 guards, 2 of them unathletic down the stretch of a basketball game next to Jaylen Brown. His first step is lightning fast. Like, these are the type of things I'm looking around, I'm like, this man wants to lose. That's all there is to say. Ain't nothing else to say. Leaving our guys down there with stuff we've run. This is halfway through the season, bro. We've seen every scenario. We know this crap don't work. Laker fans could tell you Anthony Davis and LeBron James aren't bigs last year because we had small ball that showed us what the overtime showed us. A whole season of that. We knew wasn't nothing good going to happen in overtime when this man subbed in them 3 guards. And I saw some of the stuff that Russell Westbrook did down the stretch of the game that was nice. Offensive rebound putbacks. I saw the offensive rebound putback of Patrick Beverley. We'll never forget that. A 2-hand dunk. But if you look at their plus minus, it's like a +1. Patrick Beverley was a 0. Why? Because for every good thing they do, they're going to do a bunch of bad stuff to equal it out. It's a full-fledged metaphor for our team. For every good thing we do another bad thing, and that's why we're a sub-below 500 ball club. It equals itself out. Why? Because Coach doesn't seem to understand that. That ain't getting through his skull. Everything that you are doing in regards to leaning on these small players is leaving you with the same results that it would be if you would just lean on the taller players. Except for the difference is that you would find yourself with more of a size advantage. So even if some of these possessions go by the wayside, you get more boards on the other end. Even if some of these plays go by the wayside, you have more of a option offensively so that you keep the defense more honest. Patrick Beverley ain't keeping the defense honest. Russell Westbrook ain't keeping no defense honest. And you put them both on the floor at the same time when it mattered the most. And let's not even get into the last 10 seconds of the basketball game where we just didn't understand we needed to foul. How many times do I have to tell us that this is a basketball team that needs to study clock management? And for us to have another embarrassing situation like this against the same franchise when we know this is the premier of rivalry in all of the sport, and we have another brain dead moment where we can't seem to figure out how to manage the clock again. I'm telling you, Darvin, my patience level is low, bro. I don't function well with stuff like this. Personally, my brain ain't like Jeannie's. She's patient. She's methodical. She sees the bigger picture. She'll wait something out. I'd have fired you, bro. I would have. Because some of the stuff I'm seeing down there is just blatant loser stuff that ain't gonna do nothing but cater to losing, and it seems like you're hell-bent on it, like you're Mike D'Antoni or something. See, I've already been through this as a Laker fan with coaches that didn't see past their own instincts, but those instincts didn't lead to anything successful. And we just leaned on those instincts just for the sake of losing, I guess, because that's who they were. This is who you're showing me you are too, and I'm about to ready to do with you the same thing I do with all of them, because I'm still looking for the right results. I ain't gonna settle for bad. I'll fire 5 coaches in a row to keep from having to go through what I'm going through right now, personally. So Darvin Ham's going to have to understand that. He's pushing some very specific buttons with this franchise. This franchise fan base. It's not just, okay, well, we're just not winning games. No, you're doing the very thing that pushes our buttons, Darvin. You got to understand that aspect of it, bro. You're angering people. It ain't just losing basketball games. And so that's what my energy is, man. I'm not here to display exactly how angry I am, more so than just to help you understand that it is that bad. When we see 3 guards on the floor in an overtime game, that cannot happen. I saw Thomas Bryant. He attempted 1 shot tonight. Didn't I tell everybody we gave him 7 minutes in the last game against Boston? And tonight we gave him an attempt of 1 shot? For which he connected on. You're trying to tell me that you thought he couldn't schematically be on the floor tonight just like Dallas, right? Because for whatever reason, he couldn't have matched up with Al Horford or something. See, these are the type of things that you want me to be a fan that just blames the refs tonight. Because that's who ruined the game for the Lakers. But I know that wasn't the only thing coming against us tonight. That wasn't the only thing that was scheming against the Lakers. Their very own strategy schemed against the Lakers. LeBron walked out there with 41 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and was like a +1 because who he was on the floor with the majority of the time. And let's not even get into how inefficient we were in regards to getting Anthony Davis the ball all night, but yet not smart enough to understand he's just running back and forth aimlessly for no damn reason while on minutes restriction, also in foul trouble. You got Anthony Davis running back and forth, not touching the ball, while Patrick Beverley's launching threes and Russell Westbrook's launching jumpers. You got Lonnie Walker playing 18 minutes. He's 4 of 5 at the half, ends up 6 of 8. How the hell he didn't attempt more shots when he's that efficient? When everybody else is not as efficient. I look at Troy Brown. How is he attempting so many threes? Rui Hachimura, somebody let him know about 3-point discipline. We don't do that here, bro. You can't go 0 for 4 and then have a teammate going 0 for 4, got another teammate going 0 for 4. We lost. Somebody got to fill him in, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm not mad at Rui, because he don't know the ropes. He didn't lose all them games with us. He didn't deal with that. You don't throw him out there in those situations to miss that many of them damn threes. You identify that this is his very second basketball game with your team. Identify that he's only played one home game with your team, let alone another road game, starting off a road trip. He hasn't had enough practice time to know what tendencies to display to help his club, Darvin, and you put him on the floor, removing minutes from people that directly contribute to winning in order to fit him in. Do you know how helpful that actually is? Very not helpful. 50-50 balls. Offensive rebounding. Easy putback dunks. Fast foot from left to right. We needed more of that tonight. Accompanied with the length to do anything about it. He puts respect on speed. But I don't give a damn how fast your guys are. They're going to be fast and tiny and going to be shot over. And that's exactly what we saw down the stretch with Jaylen Brown shooting over our guys. They real fast. They keeping up with him. But when they go up to contest the shot, they're coming up to his chest. What does it do for me, coach? When you got a guy like Patrick Beverley on the floor to play defense, but he's too small to keep up with the people shooting the shots, and he's too slow to keep up with the people, so he's reaching fouls to break up plays instead of seeing those plays all the way through. He did it twice, reaching around because his lateral movement wouldn't keep up. That's a negative. That's going to be there for you to see on paper before you even put him on the floor. You know he's going to do that. Same thing when I'm talking about guys attempting shots over Al Horford. I saw Patrick Beverley, I believe it was, try to lay the ball up over Al Horford. I think it was him. I saw Russell Westbrook try to lay the ball up over Al Horford, and I'm just sitting here saying to myself, does anybody understand that Al Horford is not the person to do this to? Has anybody been watching basketball for the last 12 years? He's not the person to do that to. I just don't understand how we found ourselves with Anthony Davis sealed off on Malcolm Brogdon repeatedly and not have him shoot the ball over that man. How the hell am I listening to the announcers talking about Malcolm Brogdon's doing a great job on Anthony Davis? In what world is that even possible? Malcolm Brogdon is a point guard. We didn't take advantage of the size mismatch. That's why he was doing a good job on Anthony Davis, because we never gave him the ball in positions to take advantage of the fact that he was so much bigger than that man. Because we don't respect size on our end, and we don't respect size on the Celtics end. It's the second straight game Wenyen Gabriel ain't been on the floor, and I promise you, there's not 7 players on this team better than him. I promise you it ain't. The politics of this roster and the way that we set this thing up so that Clutch can be the centerpiece of everything we do is costing us basketball games, LeBron. 41 points thrown out the window because of your team over there and what they want to do with our team over here. It's not leading to you being as successful as you should be, brother. You need to talk to your peoples. I'm telling you, that's where one of your problems is. It's your affiliation to them and them not doing enough for us. And you're a part of that us, bro. So let's not do this. Because I know what I'm looking at there. And I've been in that situation. Sometimes your friends just can't get you what you need because they got other stuff going on. But damn it, I got to be a Laker. And I need my teammates to be on point. And if the guys we signed ain't better than the dudes we ain't, then I want to play with the dudes we ain't signed because those are dudes going to help me win. Wenyen Gabriel and Max Christie should have been on the floor tonight twice as much as some of them dudes that are clutch guys. And we lost tonight because of that. And I'm going to be honest about it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to Genie. It ain't worth it to us fans. And it ain't worth it to LeBron James. And I'm just saying that, and I mean that. This is the problem. You're trying to manage people instead of trying to manage basketball games, and your opponent is getting victories. I hope Russell Westbrook had fun tonight. I think he had fun. He played better. He got in overtime. His stats didn't look all that bad at the end. He really helped when he wanted to. Besides the turnovers and the brick shots and all that stuff in the first half that just did not cater to any success whatsoever. That ultimately got him benched. But somehow we saw the benefit in putting him in the game when we down by 3 with 3 minutes and 50-something seconds to go in overtime. And it's 2 other point guards on the floor with him. I didn't see Lonnie Walker on the floor. I didn't see Thomas Bryant on the floor. I didn't see Wenyen Gabriel on the floor. I didn't see Max Christie on the floor. I didn't see Troy Brown missing, bricking behind on the floor. None of those people that could have helped me defensively was on the floor, but he wanted people like Patrick Beverley on the floor to defend. Who were too slow to defend and too short to defend. But they're smart enough to defend. By that logic, we need to be signing Joe Dumars. Go get me Dikembe Mutombo. Give me all the retired great defensive players. Because if they're done, they're equivalent to Patrick Beverley. Because I'm telling you, there ain't nothing left, man. I don't care that he got the put-back dunk. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What it really comes down to is from possession to possession, am I living and dying with small ball? And the answer is no. I'm dying. Just dying. Ain't no living with that. It's killing me, man. It's like for every good thing these dudes do, it's a bad thing done. It just balances itself out. Rui Hachimura had fantastic hands on the rebounds, man. Offensive rebounding, his hands, he catches stuff. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to be caught. I think that's something we're going to love seeing him do going forward. But he's going to have to be able to put the ball on the ground, bro. Once you get a defender up in the air on a three-point shot, that's your cue to put it on the ground and dunk. And if you can't put that ball on the ground in that situation, you're not going to be able to help us as much as you need to. Because those are situations we need driven at the rim. So I saw that in the first quarter. He got a little, guy in the air, and he decided he was going to relocate for a three-point shot like an inch left to him. Nah, that ain't going to do it. You put that ball on the floor, you dunk that ball. So we got to work with him and get him more comfortable putting the ball on the floor, or he's not going to help us as much as we need him to. I'm sorry, man. These are circumstances where I'm looking down like, okay, that wasn't a stop right there. Rui let that guy go. Okay, that was a slow rotation. We got to have an open three-point shot. I'm telling you, we can't keep throwing Rui out here and act like he's the savior just because we traded for him. If you don't utilize him right and utilize the guys that are in this team already, who have already been doing the stuff that you're asking him to do, it's just going to cater to us failing here. So I'm livid in regards to the rotations and the choices that Darvin Ham has been making. I don't like it, a whole lot of them. And I think it also caters to the deterioration of our chemistry in a way. Guys' confidence come and go because of the inconsistency of how he's playing it. I'm tired of it, and I just want to see some common sense applied to what it is that we're seeing here, because I know our team can be utilized better than this. I'm certain of it. I am 100% certain that we can do better. That we made this game so much harder than we had to be, just by leaning on people that we had no business leaning on. And this is why I am encouraging Rob Pelinka to trade these individuals. They have to go, man. Russell Westbrook must be traded. Patrick Beverley must be traded. I know they're talking about they don't want to trade Patrick Beverley, but he must be traded. Because we're going to live and die with his inability to be big enough for what it is that Darvin's asking him to be. You're going to die with that, Lakers. You have been dying with that. It is the main reason why your record is as bad as it is because his inability to get away from that. And if you study each and every one of these losses, you're going to see a big part of it having to do with small ball, man. Small ball and terrible execution down the stretch of basketball games. You know, getting to a point where you just start drinking. And this is what we were talking about. The last 13 seconds of the game, the Lakers just started drinking. They weren't sure if they wanted to win or they wanted to concede. They weren't certain of the situation at hand or how best to capture their best opportunity to win the basketball game. They weren't aware of how. They knew how to lose, though. They knew exactly what they needed to do to capture a loss, and they did that. And this is what I'm talking about when I say the players on this team are going to do things that naturally cater to losing. This is what I'm talking about. Guys who have the habit of doing things that don't succeed, and then they want to tell other people to live with it. No. You have to find yourself in a place where that's acceptable so that you can be yourself, and it won't hurt. Because when you do that here, it hurts. And that's what I'm trying to express. So I don't leave people any excuses in regards to how they close these basketball games. Everybody and their grandma know the Lakers should have fouled down the stretch of that basketball game. Everybody and their grandma know that. Except for the Lakers. And so what do the Lakers need to do? Find out what it is that everybody else knows. Learn. Study people who've done this properly. And accept the fact that you're not good at it. As a unit. And the egos are why. People let their egos get built all the way up 12, 13 years and never working on their weaknesses. Everybody tell them they're the greatest thing. And then they get to a point where they need to be able to work together to do things properly. They don't know how. But they do know how to be egomaniacs. They do know how to shoot a bad shot when the crowd is cheering them to do so. I'm just tired of living and dying with the good and the bad that certain players do, man. Guys will do something really, really good and make me look foolish for calling them out, and then you look and just keep them on the floor for a little longer, and they'll do exactly what it is that made you angry in the first place. That's what we saw. That was the story overtime. The same people that were doing things right were the same ones doing things bad, and Brian was down there just having to trug along. It's a metaphor for the ineptitude of the front office, believe it or not. It's just layers and layers and layers of the same nonsense. And it's reflected in the damn record. Average. Simply average. How difficult is it to get the ball to Anthony Davis in the second half of a basketball game? Didn't we have this problem the whole first 20 games of the season? And didn't I tell us what we needed to do while Anthony Davis was gone? Feeding Thomas Bryant in the second half as a decoy for Anthony Davis so that we wouldn't have these problems when he came back? We had those problems when he came back tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We had him. Couldn't get him the ball. Possession after possession after possession. He didn't get it. Patrick Beverley got a bunch of shots up, though. Russell Westbrook got some shots up. Brown, of course, got his shots. But Anthony Davis, just running on a bad limb that he probably should be rested. And so if anybody wants to know what I think, we're still on the same path we've been on. People are still doing the same stuff. So the pattern is in place. We're just watching as it continues. So you know where it's headed. This team is as good as the record. As good as the record. We got all the talent in the world, but the person at the helm holding the controller is just doing all kinds of random stuff. It's like your little brother got the controller in his hand. Yeah, you got a souped up team, but he got a point guard at the center position, a small forward at the point guard. He got that center, doing all kinds of stuff, dribbling the ball, trying to be Kyrie. That's what's going on here. No matter how good your team is, if the mind that's functioning the whole thing is catering to things that don't have success attached to them, you're going to get beat by good teams like the Boston Celtics. Even when they shooting poorly, even when they can't score. Especially on their home floor when their referees is involved. And we know that was definitely on display tonight. But I can't even be mad at the referees. They did what I thought they were going to do. They fixed the game so that the Boston Celtics have the best opportunity to win. That's what we said they were going to do this morning. I said that 12 in the afternoon. But what I also said I would see is the other antagonist too. That small ball nonsense that we should not be getting used to. The fact that we want to keep continuity with stuff that doesn't work. Like shooting a broken shot over and over again. You can do it 1,000 times. You're still going to have to change the shot if you want it to go in. You can keep on practicing. It's still just going to be good at failing. That's what we're doing. We're getting real good at failing. Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, and Patrick Beverley have spent more time on the floor together probably than any other three Lakers on the team. We are really good at running bad stuff. Continuity. Average. And that's exactly what you're going to get if you keep on doing this. People got their egos in the way, though. I'm going to keep doing this, what I do. This is what I do. Yeah, you're going to do, yeah. And attached to that will be the results of what comes with it. I've seen many an idiot do that. This is what I do. This is what okay, Mike D'Antoni, you can keep on running that. Play no defense, you ain't going to get no championship. Does he have a ring yet? No. That's what he do, though. All right, cool. Mike D'Antoni. And who was it? What's his name? Frank Vogel, small ball. We're going with small ball. It doesn't work, does it? No. How many rebounds how on average, how much did we get over rebound? Probably like 15, 20 boards on average, probably. But he just kept running it. And where is he now? Fired. No job. Why? Because of that. Nobody gonna trust you when you lean on something that doesn't work and you just keep doing it. It works. No, it don't. It works. No, it don't. Darvin just doing that same dumb stuff every coach we've hired done before. Not named Phil Jackson, basically. We're just gonna go stick with it. All right. And the team's gonna beat you. I'm telling you, man. I loved playing, watching the NBA back in the day. I loved watching the NBA back in the day because there was a lot of teams like this who had coaches like this, and we go up against them, beat them, run them out the gym. They don't want to amend their nonsense. They want to keep on running small stuff. They want to keep on playing people out of position because you like that guy, don't like that guy as much. Okay, cool. We're going to beat them. That's food for us. We eat. One more team in the way was to get a championship. Beat these teams. They don't want to call timeout down the stretch of the game. Beat them. You're up by 3, but you want to let him shoot the 3 with this closing stretch. You don't want to foul? Beat him. We did that bullcrap tonight too. Left Al Horford with a chance to tie the game up. He bricked the shot. But look what it turned out to. They still won the game. We were up by 3. Situational basketball done backwards. I keep telling people, their instincts fail them. There's a way to do these things. It ain't just my arrogance and I believe. No, people learned how to do certain things in the past. And if you study what it is they were doing, you'll find there's a science to it. Situational basketball. People do not know what they're doing, man. We hired people that don't know what they're doing, Genie Bus. They can tell you this. It is what it is. Your coach needs a coach. You need Phil Jackson to come down and tell Darvin Ham how to handle a rotation out there. You need that. Coach needs a coach. It's a fact. It's ridiculous. And guys like Patrick Beverley need to be really, really thankful, man. You wouldn't even be in the league, probably. Certain situations. Certain coaches who don't think like him, bro, they wouldn't be out there. Westbrook, he wouldn't be out there. All that stuff y'all be doing that doesn't cater to winning. Winning coaches would have played the Wenyen Gabriels and Max Christie's Scottie Pippins and Thomas Bryant, those guys would have been in rotation helping us win. LeBron James would have been smiling, beating these teams, resting in the fourth quarter. None of this stuff have to happen. None of this has to happen. Guys are lowballing people on their own team for the sake of politics, and it plays into their own failure. And the fans got to suffer it. The players got to suffer it. Nonsense. So the Boston Celtics continue to get victories against the Lakers like it ain't no thing. Jason Tatum went off, big numbers. Jaylen Brown, big numbers. Malcolm Brogdon turning his career back around. What we do? Complain about the refs. That's what we have a right to do. I guess they cater to all of our failures, not our small ball. Definitely not small ball. Certainly not allowing the Boston Celtics to shoot over you repeatedly and leaving them opportunities to have easy buckets. None of that. Nope, it was just the referees and their nonsense. I ain't that type of stupid, man. I ain't. And so, yeah, the Lakers have to address the officiating. It was awful. We were fixed against. The game was sold. All that. Even if it was officiated properly, we still lose. Because we had an equal antagonist coming against us at full force. And it's called Darvin Ham and his instincts and his choices and what he's used to and what he thinks he can manage. Boy, is that a tough opponent. Thing coming us, flying at us stronger than Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum combined. I kid you not. And if people could see it the way I see it, they would understand it to be exactly that. It's like a huge Wembanyama player that's out there just destroying us. That's what Darvin Ham's choices is. And we can't overcome it. Like the great LeBron James can't overcome it. It's awful, man. So my brain I lean on other people smarter than me, people who don't overreact. I lean on y'all understanding. I'm just going to tuck away and just accept the fact that my decision making probably wouldn't be best for this team right now. Because we'd be down a head coach tonight after this one. If I was running things, this would be his last game. I would fire the rookie coach against my very own words, and that's why I'm not the guy in charge. I'm too impulsive. Something like this is too much. It's too much for me. I saw this man sub in 3-point guards in overtime. We down by 3 points. I watched this man team did not foul nobody as time is starting to expire. No. I know we can't win. I know if I'm on a path to try to win a championship, I'm of the mindset that he's going to be the problem. In the end, not health, not refs, him. Patrick Beverly, Russell Westbrook, and Dennis Schroeder. That's ultimately what's going to help the other team the very most when they go up against the Los Angeles Lakers every night. I'm telling you. Small ball. Our greatest opponent. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.